a city like Milwaukee matters.
It's an inspiration.
I think we have always been a caring city.
There are voices in our community
It was like all the buzz in the city
that need to be heard.
We're better today than we were yesterday, and it grows.
Stories of hope and inspiration
It's been honestly life-changing for me.
that need to be told.
She hopes students to believe again.
Now, from TMJ4, we're shining a light on the heroes who have emerged in these hard times.
We are community.
We are Milwaukee.
Hello and welcome to the 4th annual TMJ4 Positively Milwaukee Awards. I'm Carol Meekins. Usually we're coming to you from a stage in an elegant ballroom filled with award winners, their families and friends, but unfortunately COVID-19 has made that impossible this year. But like many of our winners tonight, we are persevering through the pandemic to give our honorees the recognition they deserve. Now I might be by myself in the studio, but as you can see, I am not alone, all because of the magic of technology. Our winners are actually joining us remotely. So everybody go ahead and wave to our audience. Each of our honorees will receive $1,000 for the charity of their choice. And one of our winners has been selected as our Inspiration of the Year and will receive an additional $4,000 for their charity. And that brings us to our first winner. Now, to say this has been a challenging year for students would be an understatement. That's especially true for many high school seniors. But one local guidance counselor saw the impact firsthand and decided to do something. Miss JC, as the kids call her, knew how much her students were hurting. So she created a community of caring parents and friends to let high school seniors know they're not alone.
Miss JC is someone who truly embraced the role of counselor.
She genuinely cares about her students and wants to see them do well.
She's probably one of the best guidance counselors in Milwaukee Public Schools because she goes a step deeper to make sure that they have that opportunity of knowing that you have choices.
To me, that's the best part of my job, when you find a student that finds themselves just being exposed to an opportunity that they never thought about. Like, I can really do that. I can get paid for something I enjoy doing. So they're like, wow, how can I make that happen? I've always had those relationships with students where they just genuinely knew that I really did care. I really did care about your future and what you were gonna do.
Miss JC really goes above and beyond to make sure that not only are they set for this year, but they're also set for the future.
When the pandemic happened, it was just immediately everything was just cut off. Your high school memories are just gone. So Adopt a High School Senior Milwaukee, Wisconsin started off as just a social media private page.
She's like, look, I have this idea about really connecting with kids during the pandemic.
It allowed seniors to have the opportunity for people to support them during these times.
She had a site up, she'd sent emails out.
My expectations was, okay, I probably helped like a few students. Next day when I woke up, there were 2,000 people on my page looking for students, just coming in. I'll take this kid. I'm an engineer and I'll take this kid. I'm a doctor, I'll take this kid.
It was like all the buzz in the city. People were just chiming in, like, sign me up, sign me up.
Whether it was just checking on them to see how things were going, or sending them some congratulatory gifts, giving advice.
They did yard signs, t-shirts. I've seen people do college survival kits for them. Then we were able to raise funds. So I was like, oh, I should give a scholarship. Let me give up one $500 scholarship. No, I raised enough money to give out 10 scholarships for $500.
You know, it takes a village to raise our children. We've lost that village. But with this program, it kind of brought that back.
It gave us an opportunity to connect with families, and they talked about what this experience meant to them.
It became a domino effect because I kept seeing, it's like, okay, these people are doing this for my kid. So I then began to pick up other kids. I ended up adopting 6 of them.
So it grew into a nonprofit organization that continues to work with these students throughout their college years, as well as get ready for the next graduating high school senior. It probably wouldn't have happened if the pandemic didn't take place. So I just think it just opened up some things for us. Out of the pandemic, I just say Adopt a High School Senior Milwaukee, Wisconsin was founded, and it's going to continue.
I think that in so many ways that she has positively contributed to the city of Milwaukee, and that's an exciting thing to observe on a day-to-day basis.
When I see how passionate she is about her work, that continues to inspire me.
You've sparked positive energy in the city of Milwaukee. You've inspired lives. You've helped students to believe again. You've given us a sense of hope that people are kind, and there are lots of acts of kindness. And on behalf of all the parents in the city of Milwaukee, I thank you for that.
Joining us now is our inspiring teacher honoree from Golda Meir School of Milwaukee, Angelique Jones Cornelius. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to thank God for giving me vision and purpose to do this work. I want to thank my husband, my 4 daughters for their continuing support in this work, the highs and the lows. I would like to give a special thanks to my mom, who instilled in me a long time ago the importance of education and helping others. I would like to thank my sorority, my school counseling family, as well as my fellow educators for their continued support in this as well. And I would like to also give a special thank you to my Golda Meir family, as well as my Adopt a High School Senior family. You saw my purpose, you supported the purpose, and you allow me to work with all students. And last but not least, I would like to thank TMJ4, as well as Carol Meekins and the Positively Milwaukee family for honoring me for such a time as this. Too much is given, much is required. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thanks.
Oh, it is an honor to be able to bless you with this. And thank you, Angelique. You have lifted thousands of teens all over the state. Now, the pandemic has had a profound impact on another part of our community, people struggling with homelessness. When Maureen Atwell realized the homeless shelter she runs needed round-the-clock staffing, she didn't delegate that responsibility. She left the comfort of her own home and loving family and moved into the shelter for months.
Living a life that is in service of others, I think is something that you can tell people to do, and you can tell your kids to do it, and you can hope that they'll do it. But I think if you show them, they're much more likely to do it and to really understand it at their very roots.
Maureen has a very, very clear vision. And she's not going to let anything get in her way in order to achieve that vision.
Maureen goes out of her way in doing things.
She is nonstop. You know, it doesn't matter if it's on her list to do. She will be there for anything if it's for a mission, you know, supporting people that are homeless.
We're just committed because we see her committed.
The issue of homelessness is one that's always really spoken to me. It's something that I think that when a person loses their home, they lose so much more than just the physical home. They lose their security, their safety, they lose their dignity, they seem to lose their place in our society and in our culture.
There's some incredible, strong, intelligent people that I have met, some of the best in my life, that are homeless.
Hebron House is an organization that helps people who are experiencing homelessness. We have 3 homeless shelters.
I consider myself pretty lucky that I became a guest here. And I know every single one of us feels that way. We're all grateful.
Homelessness is a major, major issue in Waukesha. The majority of people who are in our shelters, they have jobs. They're either working part-time, or they're even working full-time, or they're working more than full-time. But somebody who's earning a really, really low wage can work 40, 50, 60 hours a week and maybe still not be able to make it. One little thing goes wrong and all of a sudden you are homeless.
The need has definitely not slowed down during the pandemic.
People started losing jobs. More and more people started experiencing homelessness.
A lot of our employees, when it was brand new, nobody knew what it was about, nobody knew what was going to happen, and they didn't really know what this virus was, and a lot of our employees wouldn't work. The problem with that for us is that unless somebody is in the shelter 24 hours a day, we can't keep the shelter open. We're going to close the doors of the shelter if we can't find people to work in the shelters, and it was really scary. Myself and my team made the decision that I was going to move into one of the shelters.
For her to put her whole life on hold and just be like, this is my priority right now. This is where I need to be. It just felt like we had a lot of support and we were going to make it through. No matter what happened, no matter how many challenges, we were going to get through.
It's an inspiration. It's an absolute inspiration.
I learned a lot. Living in shelter was an incredible experience because until you've actually lived there, you can work there. You can work long shifts there. But if you live in the shelter, you get to know the people so well, and you get to know the issues, and you get to know the rhythm of the shelter and the problems with the shelter and some of the challenges that the shelter itself faces, but also some of the challenges that the people themselves face.
Tonight's honoree for Unsung Hero, Maureen Atwell. Maureen, congratulations to you and thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you so much, Carol. I just want to thank Positively Milwaukee for the recognition, but more importantly, for bringing awareness to the issue of people who were without a home during the pandemic. I also want to thank my family who sacrificed so that others could be safe. My husband used to put my daughter in the car and drive to the shelter just so that we could see each other through a car window, and I'll never forget that. I want to thank my team and especially my board. Our workers put their own lives on the line so that the shelters could stay open, and they deserve this award as much as I do, if not more. My board supported me in so many ways. They brought me goodie baskets, they rounded up PPE, and they went to bat for me when people said that I was crazy. This community that we live in is amazing, and I think it's easy to forget how lucky we are to live in a place where people are so kind, but something like this pandemic reminds us of who we are, and I can't say thank you enough to everybody who supported us.
Maureen, thank you so much. We are blessed that you have so much compassion. When we come back, a touching tribute to a beloved man who changed the lives of Special Olympics athletes in the state of Wisconsin. Welcome back to the Positively Milwaukee Awards. Our next award, I'm going to hand over things to my colleague Vince Vitrano for a very special tribute.
Thanks, Carol. I have the privilege of introducing our Legacy Award. I had a special connection to the man that we're honoring, Ken Kimmerlein. Now, I knew Ken through my involvement in Special Olympics Wisconsin. He was a coach for many years, and his volunteering even took him around the globe. Ken passed away due to complications with COVID-19 earlier this year, and although he is gone, his impact on the athletes that he coached and others who knew him will always live on.
Ken just brought this huge presence to Milwaukee. He was just filled with joy.
He genuinely was that really, really good person.
And made everybody laugh and made everybody happy.
He would give you the shirt off his back if he could have.
His story is so special, it really is.
He will encourage you, make you happy.
The faith that he had in all of us, we can do so much, I know we can. And he was right, we did.
He didn't judge anyone, he treated everyone the same, no matter who they were.
He just loved everyone.
Kenneth was a good coach to everybody. I miss him since he passed with COVID.
He said, I feel just great. I don't have a headache, I feel good, but I'm going to quarantine myself for 14 days. I said, do you need some grocery shopping? As long as you're quarantining yourself, I could do some shopping for you. So we went and got whatever he had on the list. The next morning I called him and he didn't say anything, and then it shut off. And I thought, well, that's really strange.
Well, I called him too, and I left a text. Now, his phone is really loud. It's got a really blast one, so he answered it, but there was nothing said.
I said to Norm, I'm going to call 911 and have them go over there. They told me that they took him to the hospital and his oxygen level was at about 40, and it should have been about 95. And he is in critical shape. And I thought, oh my gosh, how did this happen overnight? He went from, I'm fine, and now he's in critical shape. He passed away July 19th.
Sunday.
From Special Olympics, United States, we have the athlete Ryan Nodal and his playing partner Kenneth Kimberley.
He represented the United States in an Olympic sport in Abu Dhabi across the world. So I think that part was really exciting for him.
He was really big on helping out the Special Olympics, and he did a lot of things for kids with special needs.
He loved telling us stories about all the kids that he worked with. He never came back to me and told me if they won or lost. It's if they had fun, if they worked as a team, and if they got better.
He always made sure to point out something that each individual athlete did well.
I don't think we ever asked him, why are you doing Special Olympics? I think we just figured it was just something that he would do.
After hearing about Ken's volunteerism for Special Olympics for years and years and years, I was inspired to volunteer myself.
He was like a beacon. And his light just shined on absolutely everybody.
It was always just be kind to other people.
I never realized how many people he touched till we lost him.
I still can't quite wrap my head around the fact that he's gone. If I could speak with Ken one more time, it would be thank you for everything you gave to us while you were here, your kindness and your love and your presence.
I just miss him so much, it's so hard.
If he was standing right there, what would you say?
You want to go golfing one now?
Thank you, Coach, for all you did for us, and miss you, love you.
Keep looking down on our team and everything.
I had a dream, and basically he said, you know, I know you guys are sad, but if I could come back, I wouldn't. I'm good now. I'm better now. And I believe he really came to me in the dream to say, you know, it's okay, guys. Like, it's okay to be sad, but I'm literally doing great.
What a special soul. Here to accept the Legacy Award in honor of Ken is Ken's mother, Ethel Vike, and Ken's stepfather, Norman Vike. Welcome.
We want to thank TMJ4 for creating this award, and we want to thank the Special Olympics and all of Ken's friends and others who nominated him for this. We know how much expense and effort goes into all of this, so we accept the award with great thanks to everyone involved.
Let's all hope we can all, in some way in our own lives, live a little like him. Be like Ken.
Thank you, Norman Ethel. Ken's kind and giving spirit lives on with the saying, be like Ken. His co-workers at Stenny's Tavern adopted this phrase to remind people to be positive, to give back, and look out for each other. Be like Ken, a great reminder for all of us. For many who are our neighbors, they are struggling to pay rent, feed their family. Healthcare is often the last thing they're thinking about. But Dr. Julie Schuler and her team at Milwaukee 16th Street Community Health Center never forget about the people they serve. When COVID left many patients unemployed and facing a financial crisis, Dr. Schuler and the clinic stepped in to help with a COVID relief fund.
My healthcare hero has always been Mother Teresa, because she worked to take care of the poorest of the poor. And she did so in situations that were probably very difficult for her. So if I can emulate her in some way in my small corner of the world, providing healthcare to people who need it, then I'm really proud to do so.
I admire so many things about Julie. It's hard to pick just one.
I think Dr. Schuler cares for the community and cares for all the members of our 16th Street Clinic family.
She is a visionary.
Our mission is to take care of all people, regardless of any barriers that they might face.
I think what makes us unique is that we have a lot of additional services to wrap around the patient.
What we call wraparound services, where we really do wrap around people.
We are making a positive impact on the south side of Milwaukee.
When you bring a group of passionate people together, you can really create wonderful things. When COVID first hit in March, I think it was very scary for all of us. We've been located in the middle of a hot spot since the beginning of the pandemic.
We were one of the first testing sites, and it was because of Julie's vision. She wanted to be there for the community.
Very early on, we became aware that COVID was creating significant financial hardships for people. We are all in this together, and it made us realize we need to do something more for folks that are in these situations. What we were able to do at the time and still have in place is a relief fund whereby our patients can let us know what they're going through, and we're able to provide some financial resources to them to be able to help them through a very difficult time. I was one of the first people to donate to it. I'm really proud because the money goes directly into people's hands who need it. So far we've had about $100,000 donated, and it's still growing. You know, I'm born and raised in Milwaukee and have always been a proud Milwaukeean. And this just makes me even more proud of Milwaukee. I think we have always been a caring city, and we sure have our share of problems, but we care, and people are willing to come out and show how much they care for people by this kind of donation. One of my favorite things about 16th Street is our patients, and our patients are so grateful and so resilient. Many of my patients over the years give me little trinkets or little thank yous. I've got them filled in my office here, doing whatever little thing they can to show their gratitude for the care that they've received. It means so much to me.
I think Dr. Schuler has impacted many lives. She has impacted the outcomes in the community.
She loves people, and she loves for people to do well and to thrive in life.
I've worked here 25 years. Every day when I go home from work, I know that I've made a difference, and that if I weren't here, maybe someone would not have gotten served or gotten the health care they needed if I weren't here. And I think that's the way a lot of our healthcare providers feel. We're here because we're needed here, because the patients need us, the community needs us, and we're making a difference.
Thank you for being an essential worker. Our healthcare hero, Dr. Julie Schuler.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you to TMJ4. Thank you, Carol. I am honored to accept this award. I accept it on behalf of what I call our 16th Street family. All of our more than 400 dedicated staff members who work so hard every day. And especially our staff members who put themselves on the front line and at risk, testing and caring for our COVID patients. Our doctors, nurses, medical assistants, and others who've been working hard to battle this pandemic. 16th Street is in and of the community, at the heart of our community, and we are so proud to serve our community. It's an honor to do so, and thank you for this recognition. We're very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schuler. Milwaukee is better because you are here. Up next, a local veteran who discovered the healing power of music and how he's playing it forward for fellow vets around the world. Welcome back. Veterans should not have to face the challenges of post-traumatic stress in silence or alone. That's the philosophy that guides a local organization called Guitars for Vets. One of its co-founders is a Vietnam vet himself. Dan Van Buskirk discovered through his own struggles that learning the guitar was medicine for the soul. He's giving the gift of music to his fellow vets, and that is why Dan is our inspiring veteran.
There's nothing that makes me happier than personally giving a vet a guitar. It's our way of wrapping a blanket around our veterans and saying we love you. You have a great individual purpose. We want to help you figure it out because you're very needed in this society.
Dan Van Buskirk in Guitars for Vets is the heart and soul of the organization. He has devoted his entire adult life to helping people up who have fallen in some manner, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually.
When a person signs up in the military, it's not a 2 to 4 year deal, it's a lifetime deal. My team, Albrook, was shot down in Vietnam. So all the men that I started out with died in combat. I owe them the responsibility of giving something back.
Guitars for Vets gives free guitars and free guitar lessons to military vets who struggle with the challenges of post-traumatic stress. Dan came in for guitar lessons back in fall of 2006. Dan was interested in not only learning the guitar, but sharing.
I've had horrible PTSD. Music has helped me tremendously with that. I felt it was so beneficial, not only the friendship with my guitar teacher, Patrick Nettesheim, and the co-founder of Guitars for Vets, but the guitar music that I was learning. And he has a very simple, easy to grasp way of teaching.
Dan suggested that we go to the VA here in Milwaukee. We showed up to play, but we ended up giving the guitars away. We presented the guitars to 2 vets. They both lit up like a holiday when they got those instruments, and the nurses were blown away at the positive effect that they saw with these 2 gentlemen that they hadn't seen for weeks, asked us to come back the next week.
So that's where we started.
You know, as a professional musician, I'm already good at not making money, and so I said, why don't we start a nonprofit together? Currently in the United States, we have approximately 110 chapters. We're in 43 states.
At one point, we were even shipping guitars by helicopter to the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan to help the combat vets.
To this date, we've graduated more than 4,500 vets, so that means 4,500 more guitar players in the world.
Playing the guitar and just having something simply to focus on that's outside of your mind and outside of your worries is healing in itself. What I would deal with would be diagnosed as depression and anxiety. It seems like 2 opposing forces that are just kind of pulling you one way and another, and it's very exhausting. I think what Dan and Patrick have created is amazing. I mean, it was definitely life-changing for me. In a way, Guitars for Vets took the mission of the military as a veteran and gave you a new mission. It's been honestly life-changing for me. So it'd be great if somebody else could find the help that they need or want too.
If you look up inspiration in the latest dictionary, you'll see Dan with his guitar. Dan really brings a powerful spiritual element to this mission. He is so honest, authentic, and open.
Don't believe anybody if they tell you you're not musically inclined. It's just practice. And it's an individual journey for everyone. We're better today than we were yesterday, and it grows.
What an impact. Dan Van Buskirk, our inspiring veteran. Dan, thank you for all of your service to our country and to our veterans.
We are very grateful that TMJ4 did our first interview and introduced us to this wonderful, giving Milwaukee community that cares so much about our veterans. And for me, it's a privilege and opportunity to live here and give something back. We want our veterans who have survived the trauma of war to know that they have a wonderful purpose of empathy and understanding that they can share with our community.
I think at its core, what Guitars for Vets is about is inspiring our brothers and sisters for living with the challenges of PTSD to keep seeking joy in their life. Because once that's established, once you feel good, then you can go out and seek the other help that you need.
And I'd also like to thank all the wonderful volunteers and our staff. I'd like to put a special thanks out there to the absolutely wonderful PTSD treatment teams and the VA hospital. And Milwaukee is really a leader in these areas, and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
Well, Dan and Patrick, thank you for helping our heroes, and we are honored to have you here this evening. Coming up, a local senior who never slows down when it comes to giving her heart to our community. Welcome back. For most of her life, Viola Hawkins has been a voice for the voiceless. This inspiring senior still finds time to mentor young adults. She calls them her godchildren. We spoke to Miss Vi before and during the pandemic, and she hasn't slowed down a bit.
She poured so much out of me. That's where I am today.
She saved your life.
She saved my life.
Well, I know I have a deep spiritual belief, and mine is be as Christ-like as I can. I don't go out and preach no sermons or anything like that, but I tell them about a better life, how to achieve a better life. So I call myself walking the highways and byways like I figured that Christ did.
She has worked to advocate for students, voters, social justice in general. She has worked on behalf of seniors.
These are all the organizations that I volunteer from. My whole life is built on volunteerism. And if I had to guess how many years I have been volunteering, it's over 55. And to see the connection that I have had on so many organizations, so many peoples in life, it makes me feel good, so I can never be depressed.
I think she understands that she's been put on this earth to make a difference, because that's in everything she does.
There's so many people out here that need help, that need that mentorship, that need that encouragement, and not to be forgotten about. It just takes a little bit to help somebody.
When you think about all that she has accomplished, and is still accomplishing, she's not done. It is overwhelming. It's amazing.
Ms. Hawkins, all I want to say is, thank you for not giving up. And you not just did a lot for me, but you did a lot for everybody else.
She's awesome, and I love her for that. I will always love her for that.
She tells us, she shows us what's possible, what should be.
We all have different missions in life. This is my mission, somebody else have another mission. Take all of these missions that we have and put together then, and we can make a nice soup.
A force of goodness. Miss Vi Hawkins, our inspiring senior.
Thank you, Miss Carol. And to TMJ4 Network, thank you for your continued commitment to the Positively Milwaukee show that embraces the community. My Vi Hawkins Grassroots Scholarship of MATC will benefit from this award, and I'll continue outreach to the community for students interested in trade, high-tech skills, or a business administration management degree. Thank to you again, TMJ4, with much appreciation. I accept this award, thanking God for his blessings.
Thank you very much, Miss Vi. I see you have your mentee, Chiquita, with you. Thank you for coming tonight. Up next, he's become a driving force in the fight against opioid addiction in Milwaukee, and he's only 17.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Scafidi from the Heiser Automotive Group. Our community has faced huge challenges this year, but we've also seen people coming together. We've seen support for local businesses that are struggling and neighbors helping neighbors. Heiser Automotive Group is a proud sponsor of the Positively Milwaukee Awards, and thrilled to be a part of this incredible community.
Thank you, Marianne and Heiser Automotive, for helping us honor these local heroes. Well, we all know people who help others even when they have a lot on their plate. But how often are those people 17 years old? This year's Inspiring Youth winner has been giving back to our community before he hit high school. If he's not strumming his guitar for hospital patients or producing documentaries to help refugees, he's working with Milwaukee Public School students to fight the city's growing opioid crisis.
Neil seems like his mind is always churning on ways that he can, in some way, assist to improve others' lives.
The knowledge he gets, he imparts that. So he's a learner and he's a teacher.
He's just a really solid kid.
Our youth struggle to find themselves, find value, find meaning, and not only did Neil do that at such a young age, but he mastered it to the point where everyone around him is in awe and learning.
As Mahatma Gandhi said, in a gentle way, people can shake the world. And that's who he is. He does it in a gentle way.
I'll be completely transparent. I was not always a huge fan of community service, and so when I was younger, I saw volunteering as essentially working hard, not really gaining anything from it. Summer before my freshman year, I started volunteering at Crescent Learning Center, which is this nonprofit that provides care to children of refugees. Immediately, I redacted my stance on volunteering. There is no question that I was completely wrong. I was absolutely gaining something, and that something was experience and, frankly, a lot of fun. It was just a really good time spending time with those kids. One of the most important takeaways, though, was I was exposed to the Milwaukee that lies beyond my suburban home. So I started making a documentary called Crescent of Hope, in which I explored Milwaukee's role in the refugee crisis, as well as Crescent Learning Center and what they've done. This was really where I started loving community service and where I started to understand that really beneficial service is mutually rewarding. I began to essentially open my eyes to what Milwaukee is truly like. We, the average citizen in Milwaukee, are more likely to die of an opioid overdose than a car accident. We as citizens, and especially as children, we really don't understand how commonplace these terrible, terrible drugs are. Heroin is nearly chemically identical to legal opioids, and the implication of that is simply horrible. And from there, my immediate goal was how can we prevent more deaths? So I started the Opioid Epidemic Awareness Campaign. The idea is if we all know what's going on, if we all understand the danger of opioid addiction, we can make a positive change through prevention. Throughout the following year, I went into middle and high schools in Milwaukee and presented on pretty much the entirety of the opioid epidemic. What can we, as kids in Milwaukee, do to make a change?
We now have our next speaker, Neil Dagra. Neil, I'll turn it over to you.
This opioid crisis has really shaped so much of what I want to do with my life. I've talked to politicians, community doctors, I've talked to researchers. A lot of people want to see a change. I just hope that we can transfer that momentum to the common citizen and make sure that everybody in Milwaukee wants to see that change.
I think you'll make a big difference, and I think Commissioner Kowalik is probably going to ask for your resume later.
I love Neil. I just love him. I think he is a wonderful human being, and I think he is making a difference at our school, in our community, and I really think he's gonna rock it out in the world.
There's a lot of beauty in giving, and I think that's what Neil has discovered at this early age, and I'm very happy for him.
He just sees a problem and tries to go out and solve it and make the world a better place.
I know it's a cliche, never settle for anything less than your best, but Neil is a working example of that.
Neil does it because it's genuine. He really feels a calling to help others.
I'm just most proud that I was able to take what I learned in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and use it to help others and better my community.
17 years old. Now welcome the Positively Milwaukee Inspiring Youth Award winner, Neil Dagra. Neil, thanks for being with us.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you to TMJ4 and the Positively Milwaukee team for persevering through a pandemic to make this such a special event for everybody. I'm really honored to be here alongside such dedicated and inspiring individuals, But truth be told, I never expected to be doing any of this. 4 years ago, I had never made a documentary or done science research. I didn't even know what an opioid was. When I became interested in these large problems, the refugee crisis or the opioid epidemic, I was eager to make big changes, but I had no clue where to start. From the policymakers I've emailed to the professors who took a chance on an inexperienced 15-year-old kid and allowed me to help in their research, I am so thankful for Milwaukee's hardworking individuals that have become a source of support and inspiration for me. Finally, and most importantly, I want to say thank you to my parents and my sister. From patiently waiting outside my lab as I finished experiments on snowy, cold, quintessential Milwaukee weathered nights, to just being there with me through it all, they have been a source of unconditional support. I love you guys, and thank you for everything.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Congratulations, Neil, and the entire Dogger family. We can't wait to see what your future holds. Up next, we honor an Oscar winner from Milwaukee who created a social community in our city where artists and art lovers come together. Welcome back. He may be an Oscar-winning screenwriter, but John Ridley has never forgotten his Milwaukee roots. After his triumph for 12 Years a Slave at the Academy Awards, he turned the spotlight back on his hometown, hoping to spark creativity in other aspiring artists and filmmakers. The result is a company called No Studios in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. No Studios is more than a business for John and his CEO sister Lisa. It's a way to give back to the city that inspired John's own creative path. Tonight, we honor John Ridley and No Studios with our Positively Milwaukee Beacon Award.
It's very real here. People are real. To the positive, to the negative, people do know who you are. And people value what you've done in your life or with your life. That to me is why a city like Milwaukee matters. And that's why I love coming back here, and that's why it was very important to us to have No Studios here and really try to give back and do everything we can to make sure that this community and everybody's experiences here are the best experiences that they can possibly have.
Originally, we decided to start the business here because we thought we could have a bigger impact in Milwaukee than we would in New York or LA. We really realized the extent of the social and economic inequities in Milwaukee. So then we felt an urgent need to use the No Studios platform to try to do more and more and more. So I think what started off as almost a sentimental homecoming, quite frankly, a business opportunity, turned into more of a mission.
My whole life, my career has been about communal experience. It's been about going to movie theaters and having everybody come together. When those lights go down, people are laughing together, people are crying together. So for us, it was about trying to bring communities together.
I can't wait till the pandemic is over for many reasons, but especially because we can bring people back into the space. What is so important to me is that we just exist. Just being a Black-owned business, especially in Milwaukee, it's so important to just exist by example. Without the examples, sometimes it's hard to inspire the vision. And if you have the example, I know that some people, hopefully many people, will take our idea and make it so much better, and will flourish in a different way. We are lucky that we've been invested in, because then we can invest in others. And I think that's what I would love to see for Milwaukee, is that investment in communities that have been marginalized, because it's such a gift that we can give to ourselves, because that community will then invest not only in themselves, but in everyone around them.
That's the why of No Studios, is to really take, ironically, the no out of things. No, I don't want to go there. No, I don't want to meet these kinds of folks. No, I don't think I have anything in common with them. And say, oh yeah, actually we do. Finding ways to help people achieve what they want to achieve in life, that is ultimately the most important thing.
And it is. Congratulations to our Beacon Award winner, John Ridley, a Milwaukee treasure. And here's a message from John.
I'm so deeply appreciative to WTMJ4 for honoring me with this year's Beacon Award. I've been fortunate in my career to have received a few awards, and one thing that I've realized is that the more people associate good works with me personally, the more I realize it's really about other people who have helped me achieve the things that I've achieved. So I want to thank our business partners, Chris Abley and Steve Meck. I deeply want to thank my sister, Lisa Caesar, as well as our younger sister, Beth Ridley. I definitely want to thank our parents, Dr. and Mrs. John and Terry Ridley, and really thank everybody in Milwaukee who has joined us in our journey in trying to make No Studios part of this community and giving back to the city of Milwaukee, which has done so much and given so much to myself and our family. So thank you, and thanks again to WTMJ4.
Congratulations, John, and thank you for not forgetting your hometown. When we come back, we're going to announce the winner of the Positively Milwaukee Inspiration of the Year Award.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Scafidi from the Heiser Automotive Group. We've seen so many inspirational stories and incredible people tonight. Congratulations to all of our award recipients. Now, it's time to announce the Heiser Automotive Inspiration of the Year Award. Here's Carol.
Thank you, Mary Ann, and thank you, Heiser Automotive. The Inspiration of the Year Award really goes to somebody who's already won tonight, and they have no idea who it is. Our selection committee tells me the name on this envelope was a very difficult decision, because this winner will receive an additional $4,000 for the charity of their choice. The Heiser Automotive Inspiration of the Year Award will go to, and I'm going to open my envelope here, and it says, Dan Van Buskirk, Guitars for Vets. Congratulations, Dan.
Okay.
A double winner. So.
I don't know how to thank you, except we'll just pass this forward. We'll pass it forward to our vets and our community. We are so grateful.
The message I want to put out to everybody out there is get involved with one of these nonprofits that have been on display this evening. It doesn't have to be Guitars for Vets. There's so much good. And if you can't find something that you resonate with fully, start it up yourself. You've got the power to make the change.
And I want to thank all of you for inspiring me even more to do better work. You're all amazing. Your stories are so wonderful. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Dan and all of our Positively Milwaukee Award winners. You all give us light, hope. Thanks to all who nominated our winners, and thank you for watching. Please stay safe, everybody, and as always, stay positively Milwaukee.